What? Is China destroying or damaging mosques? This is your favorite half Chinese, and let me explain something. But first, the timeline of events leading up to this article. President Xi of China calls for immediate ceasefire, stresses a two-state solution, and that was on the 21st at a BRICS meeting. And on the 22nd, the Western media started this hit piece on China. That China is demolishing mosques and damaging them, removing domes and other things. Building mosques in a Chinese way? How terrible could that be? You would think that the news of President Xi calling for an immediate ceasefire and a two-state solution for Palestine would make it to the headlines. But unfortunately, it didn't. And they also used this ASPI report from 2020. Yes, the report dates from 2020. And today is 2023 for the people that don't know. Knowing that most won't read it anyways. The ASPI is the Australian military complex. It should arouse some suspicion. I mean, remember what they did in Afghanistan, for example. Now let's look at the report, and I quote, "Despite repeated claims that Xinjiang has more than 24,000 mosques and that the Chinese government is committed to protecting its citizens' freedom of religious belief while respecting and protecting religious cultures." That is actually not a claim. It is literally law in China. See here, Article 4 of the Constitution of China. All ethnic groups of the People's Republic of China are equal. The state shall protect the lawful rights and interests of all ethnic minorities and uphold and promote relations of equality, unity, mutual assistance, and harmony among all ethnic groups. Discrimination against and oppression of any ethnic group are prohibited. Any act that undermines the unity of ethnic groups or creates division among them is prohibited. The state shall, in light of the characteristics and needs of all ethnic minority, assist all ethnic minority areas in accelerating their economic and cultural development. All areas inhabited by ethnic minorities shall practice regional autonomy, establish autonomous organs, and exercise the power of self-govern. All ethnic autonomous areas are inseparable parts of the People's Republic of China. All ethnic groups all have the freedom to use and develop their own spoken and written language and to preserve or reform their own traditions and customs. And then we have here Article 36. Citizens of the People's Republic of China shall enjoy freedom of religious belief. No state organ, social organization, or individual shall coerce citizens to believe in or not to believe in any religion, nor shall they discriminate against citizens who believe in or do not believe in any religion. The state shall protect normal religious activities. No one shall use religion to engage in activities that disrupt public order, impair the health of citizens, or interfere with the state's education system. Religious groups and religious affairs shall not be subject to control by foreign forces. So clearly, it is not a claim, but literally the Constitution and law. Now we will soon see who is making the claims as it goes on. And I quote again, "We estimate that there are currently fewer than 15,500 mosques in Xinjiang, including more than 7,500 that had been damaged to some extent. This is the lowest number since the Cultural Revolution, when fewer than 3,000 mosques remained." So it's an estimation, but how did they get to that number? And mind you, an estimate is kind of a claim. Does not have to be accurate by any means at all. Then the report has these tables. And above it is very, very interesting, as we want to know how did they get to these numbers, right? Let's read it. The destruction of mosques appears to be correlated with the value authorities place on a region's tourist potential. For example, Urumqi has a low rate of demolition, followed by the major tourist sites like Kashgar. Yet, it should be noted, both cities have undergone and continue to undergo significant urban development, which has resulted in the demolition of or renovation of part of Kashgar's old city. So they're renovating it. They're renewing their city. So they mix the ones that are being renovated with the ones being demolished. That is some very interesting way to count how many mosques have been destroyed. As renovating is far from being destroyed and is actually the opposite. but somehow they feel like mixing the two is a good way to measure. Okay, let's continue their other method. Extrapolating those figures on a prefectural level from official statistics allowed us to estimate the full number of destroyed and damaged mosques in Xinjiang. We found that across the XUAR, approximately 16,000 mosques have been damaged or destroyed and 8,450 has been entirely demolished. The 95% confidence range of our regional finding is plus minus 4% for the estimates of demolished, destroyed, and undamaged mosque number. Yes, extrapolating. Very, very interesting. You add the mosques that are being renovated to the mosques that have been demolished, and then because of a lack of information, you start to extrapolate. That is like saying, I heard one mosque was demolished and 2 were being renovated. So that makes 3 for today. So that should be about 1,095 mosques being destroyed in a year.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Can we see that this way of conducting a research is incorrect and flawed at best? How can you add mosques being demolished to mosques undergoing a renovation and then extrapolate and say that is how many mosques have been demolished? Extrapolating is like, I have 3 Dutch friends who don't like cheese. Therefore, 100% of Dutch people don't like cheese. Can we see how you cannot use that as science? Then we have some fake pictures, which don't have to be fake when you Google them, but they are fake for a reason. From total different areas, if you ask me, let's compare them. Here, picture 1. And when we Google the coordinates, we get this. Does the area look anything the same at all? And do we see a clear picture when we Google it? Why can't they? Picture 2. Does it look remotely like that area? And again, why are their pics so unclear while they are very clear on Google Maps? Picture 3. Does it look remotely like that area? And again, why are their pics so unclear while they are very clear on Google Maps? Picture 4. Does it look remotely like that area? And again, why are their pictures so unclear while they are very clear on Google Maps? Now, the first 3 mosques should have been demolished according to them. As we can see, the area is totally different than the pictures they used. The 4th picture should be one where a mosque was damaged. As we could clearly see, no mosque or building is there. And again, the area is totally different. Now the pictures are from 2012-2016. Not sure why they have that in a report of 2020 and that the report is being used in 2023. It all just doesn't make sense to me, but maybe it makes sense to you. The report also lacks the mention of mosques being built. Because just like in other countries, mosques sometimes are in old buildings and need renovation or are in an area with another designation. Then what happens is the mosque will be renovated or in the case of the area, getting a new designation. It will be rebuilt and the people get a new and safer mosque. It is very important to include that, otherwise you would think they only demolish and are never ever building. Think about it. It's obviously not a report to report the facts, but more to control your mind and the narrative they want you to accept. Let me know what you think in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. We are not savages unlike others. Please drop a like, share, and if you have not yet, then follow. This was your favorite half Chinese, and as always, have a great day.